Hello, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Can you believe it's over already? Sheesh. Well, here's a fun layout to help you relive your exciting weekend. These are some of the photos that I took this weekend of us at the lake with our friends hanging out. And I thought I would use the last remnants of my American Blast collection. I actually have 3 strips and that's it, but I believe the colors are going to match perfectly. So I am going to use these 3 strips of paper, and I'm going to use a grid style sketch layout that I've used a few times, which is just a fun, easy way to decorate your pages. So the first thing that I'm going to do is bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut these strips into 3x4 pieces of paper. And I luckily have exactly enough to do the 3x4s. And that's what you see me doing here, is just cutting the 3x4 pieces of paper. Then I'm going to bring in my white cardstock, and I want to dirty it up a bit. So I am taking the shimmer pens and I am going to ink splatter. And what you first saw me do was there was a black ring that you have to remove, and then you can squeeze out the ink and rub the brush and then just tap it all around. And that's what I'm doing, and what that will do is leave little dots just to jazz up my white cardstock. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just one second. So it just adds a little bit of fun and sparkle for 4th of July. Now I'm going to bring in all of those squares, and I'm going to line them up about it's about 1.5 inches up that I end up putting them. I want to leave a space in the middle so that you'll be able to see the decorations both on the top and the bottom of the page, and my pictures are going to be in the center. So I'm lining it up right at 1.5 inches. And I always do the left side, and then you'll see me do the right side. And then after I do those 2 sides, I will do the middle. That just helps me make sure that I'm getting it lined up perfectly. And so that's what I'm doing right here. And I'm going to do it on the bottom, and then I'm going to do it on the top. And I'll keep the papers in the exact same order. Now that I have my grid almost completed, what you're going to see is I'm bringing in my photos. And I printed 4x6s and 4x4s, and I did matte my pictures. I wasn't sure if I was going to want to matte them in red or in navy blue, but I really am a navy blue girl. I use that color a lot, and I just liked it better and felt like my pictures popped off the page more when I used navy blue. So I am lining it up here. I want to make sure that you can see the same amount of paper on the bottom as well as on the top, and that you can see little pops of my red poking through as well. So I'm just getting it lined up, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the page. One of the things that you may notice as you watch this video is the 0 centering ruler. And I recently purchased this, and I was a holdout. I didn't believe I needed it. I had other rulers. I had a T-square ruler. I just didn't think that it was necessary. And then at the last minute, I think it went on sale, and I said, all right, I'll buy it. And it truly has become one of my most used tools. It works perfectly. There's something about the depth of it that just makes it really easy to align your photos. I like being able to use the measurement to get the exact correct spacing in between the rectangles in this case, or my pictures in this case. So I just would encourage you, if you haven't really thought about the zero centering ruler, you might want to take a second look at it, because like I said, it really has made getting my pages put together much quicker, much easier, and just spaced perfectly. And I love that. So I'm adding my photos here, and if you'll notice, I tried to space out the red from Fred's shirt so that it spans across the page, as well as making sure that my more scenic pictures also span across the page. That helps with moving your eye from one corner to the other. Here are some embellishments that I pulled out that were red, white, and blue that could go with 4th of July. It is my fireworks punch. I use it a lot. It is probably my most used punch. If you don't have the fireworks punch and it comes back, make sure you put that on your list. Unfortunately, I don't have any. If I did, I'd encourage everyone to buy it. I just use it for everything. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of red, white, and blue to the left hand middle side, and then I'm going to move over to the top right and then in the bottom center, basically forming a triangle with my fireworks to help you draw your eye across the page. And it just gives it a little bit more of a fun, festive look. So normally I audition my embellishments and I will go through lots of different embellishments, but for this particular layout, I had a lot of pictures and I already had the paper selected, so I just wanted to use minimal embellishments, but then I felt that my page was just a little bit too plain, so I decided to doodle on it. And what I'm doing is I'm just drawing lines, and they are not straight. I am not using a ruler. I am freehanding it, and they are wavy as all get out. But we're at the lake, and the lake is water, and water is movement. So for me, the fact that my lines are curved and not straight, it works fine with the aura, I guess, the vibe of my page. I'm going to go now and I'm going to do some scribbles to even add more movement to the design of the page. And for me, this one little squiggle just really completed the pages for me, these lines and these squiggles, and I didn't feel like any other embellishments were necessary. It just completed the page for me. And so I'm going to go ahead and do it on the second page, and then these pages are going to be finished. So it was pretty quick layout. Literally, it was cutting 3x4 squares, putting them into a grid, and then centering my photos on top of them. I did 3 small embellishment clusters and then a little bit of doodling, and that was it. So I'm interested to know if you guys would try this layout and what you think. I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I hope that this layout has inspired you to get your pictures out and put them on paper and put them in your albums so that you can enjoy them. I will be back on Tuesday for another Tooltip Tuesday. And other than that, please know that I am here if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything specific that you would like to look at. Otherwise, have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.